Well, good morning. This is Kent Blaylock with Kent's Classic Sports Replays coming to you on this Tuesday morning, May the 14th. I hope everyone is doing well and hope everyone is ready for some classic sports replays as we're going to go into the 1995 World Series replay. I am a Cleveland fan, so I'm wanting to rewrite history. This is a World Series that Atlanta won 4-2. With the great pitching staff that Atlanta had this year, it overcome the great hitting from the Cleveland Indians. We're going to be playing it with the Digital Diamond V12 using the Statis Pro classic cards, not the advanced, but we're going to use the left-right splits. So we're going to be diving into that this morning. So let's get into it. I'm excited to get this series started and get back into streaming some here on YouTube, and hope you'll join me as we play this game, this classic game from 1995. So let's dive into it. And on the mound for the Atlanta Braves will be Greg Maddox. On the season in 95, he had a very good ERA of 1.63 and 19 wins, up with only 2 losses. He had a .81 whip, so very good season for Maddox. Very tough out for any batter. And he's facing a very potent lineup in the Cleveland Indians. Leading off for Cleveland will be center fielder Kenny Lofton, batting .310 in that season, and then followed by shortstop Omar Vizquel with a .266 average and an OPS of .684. And then Carlos Baerga at second base batted .314. And then Albert Bell batted .317. You see these healthy averages all the way across. The only batter below 300, of course, we won't include Hershisher, was Vizquel at .266. Albert Bell at .317. Eddie Murray at .323. Jim Thome at .314. Manny Ramirez at .308. And Sandy Alomar at a even .300. So a tough lineup to face, but a very tough pitcher in Greg Maddox. So let's get this game underway as Maddox toes the rubber. Kenny Lofton steps to the plate. The PB rating for Maddox is 2-9, so very healthy. It'll be going to his card more often than not. So let's get our PB roll, which is a 7. It will be on Maddox's card, and that roll of 24 may be trouble, though, but it is not, as Maddox gets him on the bender, and the first pitch. We can get things rolling here. First pitch from Maddox is a big hooker that gets Lofton looking for out number 1. Struck him out. And that'll bring up Omar Vizquel, batting .266. with 6 home runs and PB of 5. That will be on Maddox's card. 35, and strikeout number 2 is this time he gets him with the well-positioned fastball on the corner, and Maddox with his great control, 2 up, 2 down, and he struck him out both times. And that'll bring up Carlos Baerga. This time it again will be on Maddox's card. That roll of 41, it will be an out. He's a switch hitter with power, and that's just going to be a fly ball lifted into center field. Marquise Grissom settles underneath it for out number 3. 3 up and 3 down for Greg Maddox. And now coming to the mound for the Cleveland Indians is Oral Hershisher. He had a 3.87 ERA with a 16-6 record and a 1.21 whip and 95. So very good pitcher as well. And he'll be facing a lineup of Marquise Grissom leading off in center field, Mark Lemke batting in the second spot at second base, Chipper Jones at third base in the third spot, Fred McGriff playing first base in the fourth spot, and David Justice in right field in the fifth, Ryan Klesko in left field in the sixth spot, Charlie O'Brien catching today in the seventh spot, Rafael Belliard at short, and then Greg Maddox, of course, is your pitcher. And you can see the batting averages are well below that of Cleveland, but will it be the pitching that comes through again for Atlanta in this series? As Oral Hershisher against a right-handed batter, and Grissom is a 2-7, And here is the pitch. It'll be on Hershisher's card. That roll of 52, it will be an out. And it's a fly ball lifted into right field. Manny Ramirez settles underneath it for an easy can of corn put out for out number one. And you all have to excuse the construction noise in the back. I'm having been remodeled here at the house while I am convalescing at the house, recovering from a hernia surgery. So these are hernia day games. So we'll just continue and just play through the noise in the background. Mark Lemke steps to the plate, batting .253 in 1995. And Lemke steps in 2-6 against left-handed batters is Hershisher. Roll of 5 will go to Hershisher's card. That 75 is an out. And that switch normal is a fly ball again into center field. Kenny Lofton settles underneath it for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. And Chipper Jones striding to the plate. Chipper batted .265 with 23 home runs in 1995. 2-6 against the lefty. And it's another one on Hershisher's card. That 74 will be an out. Switch hitter with power. He's lifted into left field as Albert Bell steps underneath it. So 3 fly balls, 3 outs, 3 up and 3 down. And we go to the second. Scoreless here in Atlanta. Maddox on the mound as Albert Bell steps to the plate. 2-8 against right-handed batters is his PB rating. And it will be on his card. That 22 may be trouble, but it is not. That 22 for Maddox, as he has got great control, paints the corners again and struck him out for out number 1. 3 strikeouts so far from Maddox, who's pitching to Jim so far. And that'll bring up Eddie Murray, 2-9 against the lefty. Will be on Maddox's card. That roll of 71 will be an out. And that's a deep fly ball into right field. David Justice roaming back to the warning track, but it's just a long out as Eddie Murray flies out to right field. And that brings up Jim Thome, as it doesn't get any easier as you go through this lineup. Will be on Maddox's card on that 2-9 with that roll of 7. That 23, and he strikes him out. He gets him painting the corners with that slider this time as it painted the corners, and Thome swings and misses for out number 3. And that would be, was that the 5th or 6th strikeout for Maddox? As he's pitching to Jim so far through 2. And now Hershisher facing Freddie McGriff. He's a 2-6 against left-handed batters. And it will be on his card with that roll of 6. Will be another out. And LP, that's a pop-up to the catcher as he pops it up. Alomar off with the mask. Back and out for Alomar. So McGriff pops up to Alomar, and that brings David Justice to the plate. Justice batted .253 with 24 home runs in 95. It's going to be a 2-6 for Hershisher. And it's on Hershisher's card once again. He's getting a lot of good rolls. That 17 may be trouble, though. It is our first hit as David Justice drops one in front of Kenny Lofton in center field as he hits a flare in the center field. And we got a runner on in Justice. Our first batter to be on base is David Justice. He does have an OBR of A. So will I try to steal with David Justice? I think I will. Let's get a roll for Justice on that OBR of A. 58. Yeah, let's check my chart here. Runner out if catcher throwing has a TA or TB arm rating. And he caught Justice stealing as Justice takes off. Alomar guns down Justice as there goes our base runner and they got him, gunned him down. So no base runner now as Ryan Klesko shakes his head. He was hoping for an RBI chance, but no go as Ryan Klesko steps to the plate, batting .310 in the season with 23 home runs. And it's going to be on Hershisher's card. At 61 will be an out. And it's a lazy fly ball hit into left field. And that's out number 2. I mean, that's out number 3, excuse me. As they got a runner on, but Justice was gunned down by Alomar. And we go to the top of the third, scoreless here in Atlanta. And Maddox so far faced 6 batters and struck out 4. So he's pitching to Jim as Manny Ramirez steps up to the plate. Will be on Maddox's card. That roll of 55 will be an out. And as a fly ball lifted into center field, Marquise Grissom fades to his left and makes the play for out number 1. 1 down. And up to bat is Sandy Alomar, batting .300 with 10 home runs in the 95 season. Be on Maddox's card. That roll of 17. And Alomar spanks one into right field. Diving, dipping liner that falls in front of David Justice. And we have the first hit for Cleveland as Alomar is on. And that brings up the pitcher. He's a sacrifice of a double D, so he won't be laying down to bunt. He'll just swing away since he's a poor bunter. And Alomar has poor speed. So here is the pitch. It will be on Hershisher's card. That 67 will be a strikeout as Maddox gets his counterpart. With the fastball on the corner. And that's 2 outs with Alomar be running on contact as Kenny Lofton steps to the plate. And we have our first CD check. Get our CD table. It's going to be for the right fielder. Go to the outfielder's CD table on a random 48. To right field It's a CD of 3 and 48. No action occurs. Resume. So we'll go back to the PB rating. PB of 5, that goes back to Maddox's card. The roll of 46 is an out. And that's just a deep fly ball to right field. Justice again taken back to the warning track, but makes the play for out number 3. And we go to the bottom. Charlie O'Brien up to the plate. Batted .227 with 9 home runs as he faces Hershisher. 2-7 is his PB, and it's on Hershisher. 76 will be an out. And that's a pop-up behind the plate to his counterpart, Alomar. Alomar off with his mask and makes the play for out number 1. And that's going to bring up Rafael Belliard, batted .222 with no home runs. So no pop to the bat of Belliard. He's no danger there as Hershisher goes into his windup. It will be on Belliard's card, that 12, and Belliard laces one into left field as it screams past Tommy and Vizquel into left field. Yeah, we got a runner on with 1 out. Belliard and OBRC, he will not be attempting to steal. Maddox, though, I think is going to try to sacrifice and lay down a bunt. Let's find my chart. Got it here somewhere. There we go. Sorry for that delay. As he's a BB for a sacrifice. Let's roll for the random number of 65. Batter out. It's a 1-4 sacrifice. So he drops it down in front of the pitcher. Hershisher makes the play on a G14. That's not correct. To change that. Sorry about the slowness of my computer with things going on the way they are at the house. My internet connection is not the best. Okay. Let's go with a G14 R11 safe. See if that got it. No, they still had Belliard out. I got it figured out. Bell yards down to second on the sacrifice bunt from Hershisher. From Maddox, excuse me. And that's going to bring up Marquise Grissom. Grissom flew out to right field his first time up. Here's the pitch. It's going to be on Hershisher's card. 23, he strikes him out, gets him on the big looping curveball for out number 3. Leave a runner on, but we go to the fourth here. Scoreless in Atlanta. Pitchers duel through 3. Maddox has a one-hitter going on, striking out 5. And this time it will be on Maddox's card. He's a 2-9 with that PB of 8. 67 will be an out. And that's a deep fly ball, well, a shallow fly ball, excuse me, in the left field. Ryan Klesko ranges underneath it for out number 1. And that's going to bring up Carlos Baerga. Baerga flew out to center his last time up. It's going to be on Maddox's card, even with a roll of 9. That roll of 51 will be an out. Switch hitting with power. This will be grounded to short. Check on the error. There is none. So easy play by Belliard as he fires it over to McGriff for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Albert Bell. Bell struck out his first time up. This time it will be on Bell's card. That 11, and he's going to drop one into left field right in front of Klesko as he hits a little screamer past Chipper Jones. Klesko up with it quickly, fires it into second base, and we have a runner on with 2 outs. Second hit allowed by Maddox as Eddie Murray steps to the plate with a runner on. Bell looking to steal with that rating of A. I like to attempt steals. So Bell looking to take a slight lead as the pitch comes. He takes off, and he's in safely as Albert Bell beats the throw by Charlie O'Brien. And Bell's edging off the bag at first, takes off. And that's just a poor throw by O'Brien, and he's in there standing. So a runner now in scoring position, standing on second. And he'll be running on contact. Here's a pitch to Murray. It will be on Maddox's card. That 32, and Maddox, with such great control, painting the corners, gets Murray looking for out number 3. And that'll be the 6th strikeout recorded for Maddox. That is 3 down, and we go to the bottom of the 4th, still scoreless here in Atlanta. And that brings Mark Lemke back to the plate. Flew out to center field his last time up. Here's the pitch from Hershisher. Nobody on, so we'll ignore that. It's going to be on Lemke. 53, and that'll be an out. Check the error rating on the first baseman Murray. No error, so it's a simple G3 ground out. as Murray fields it. And beats Lemke to first for the out. Jones next. Chipper Jones stepping to the plate. Flew out to left his first time up. Oops, got ahead of myself there. Nobody on, so we won't use that. On Hershisher's card, 66 will be an out. Big ground ball, too short. We'll check Visco's error rating, and it's a 3 to 10, but he's an error of 1, so no error. G6. Visco up with it, over to Murray at first for out number 2. As this pitching duel continues. And Fred McGriff coming to the plate. McGriff popped up behind the plate his first time up. Here's the pitch to McGriff. Will be on McGriff's card at 23 as McGriff hits a hard one into left center field. It gets by Bell, makes one, hops the wall, and McGriff is motoring around first and slides into second with a 2-out double. And now that brings up David Justice with a runner in scoring position. It's going to be on Justice's card. That roll of 14, that's going to be a 1. That's going to be a single into right field. McGriff with, let's check out that his chances of scoring. Find my runner advancement chart. Going with an arm of 2, going from second to home on a single with an arm of 2, and he's a OBRC 11 to 68. He will attempt it, and with that roll of 75, they gun him down at the plate. That's going to be for out number 3. So it was a 1B9. See if it's R2, 2X maybe. Nope, that ain't right. You gotta do that. Sorry for the delay. To 1B9 R2X. It might get him saying at third, but I don't know how to record that any other well. We will record the out. And they do get him at third. So poor base running by McGriff ends that scoring threat, and we go to the top of the 5th, scoreless here in Atlanta. And step into the plate, Jim Thome. Be on Thome's card. That 81 will be too high, though. So pop up behind the plate, and there'll be no error as he takes a swing at it, but pops it up. And O'Brien settles underneath it easily for out number 1. And that brings up Manny Ramirez. It's on Maddox's card. That 11 will be a base hit from Ramirez as he takes his hack at it, gets a piece of it. As Ramirez singles into right field. That'll bring up Sandy Alomar. Singled his first time up as Ramirez takes a slight lead off of first. Will not be going with that OBR of D. So on Maddox's card, 23 strikes him out. That'll be strikeout number 7 for Maddox. 2 down gone with here in the 5th with Ramirez on first. Stretches his lead. He will be running on contact. It's a BD. He does not have a BD rating because he's the pitcher. Hershisher just going to swing away. BD again. We'll ignore that. It's going to be on the Hershisher's card. That 32, he struck him out for strikeout number 8 from Greg Maddox. As we wanted to keep Hershisher in, he's pitching well as well. Hershisher, going into the bottom of the 5th, has allowed 4 hits. He struck out 1. That brings up Ryan Klesko. On Klesko's card, 78 will be too high. Checking on an error on Vizquel. There is none. So it's a ground ball hit sharply at Vizquel at short. Up with it. Fires it over to Eddie Murray for out number 1. That brings up Ryan Klesko, who flew out his last time up to left field. No pup. It's going to be on Hershisher's card. That 77 will be an out. And that's a pop-up to third base. Jim Thome settles underneath it for the easy can of corn put out as he catches it in fair territory. That brings up Rafael Belliard, who singled his last time up. It's going to be on Belliard's card once again. That 34, he struck him out as he got him on the bender for out number 3. We're still scoreless here as we go to the 6th. Both pitchers pitching a gem. And we got to the top of the order as Maddox steps up. Kenny Lofton to the plate. It's going to be on Maddox's card. That 57 will be an out. It's a ground ball to Belliard. We'll check his error rating. Does not commit an error, so it's a sharply hit ball to short, but Belliard fields it easily, fires it over to McGriff for out number 1. And that'll bring up Omar Vizquel. 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out his last time up and struck out. So here's the pitch to Vizquel. Be on Maddox's card. At 74 will be an out. And a fly ball lifted into right field. Justice settles underneath the shallow fly ball for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down for Greg Maddox. Brings up Carlos Baerga. We're again on Maddox's card, even with that PB of 9. 86 will be an out. And that's just another fly ball into right field. David Justice takes a few steps back and settles underneath it for out number 3. 3 up and 3 down as we go to the bottom of the 6th. In this pitcher's duel. Maddox moves into the box now. He's going to swing away. Nobody on base. We won't use that. It's going to be on Hershisher's card. 77 will be an out for the pitcher. That's a ground ball too short. We'll check the error rating. No error. So slow ground ball hit to Vizquel. Vizquel up with it, fires it over to Murray and gets Maddox by a couple steps for out number 1. And that's going to bring up Grissom. Grissom is 0 for 2 on the day, struck out his last time up. Here's the pitch from Hershisher. It's on Hershisher's card. 71 will be an out. Neutral is a fly ball into left field as Albert Bell settles underneath it for out number 2. That's going to bring up Mark Lemke. Will be on Lemke's card. 41 will be an out. It's hit too short. Check on the error rating. There is none. So it's popped up to short. Vizquel ranges over the second base bag and makes the play. 3 up and 3 down. We go to the 7th, still scoreless here in Atlanta, as these two pitchers being very stingy. But Maddox still has to face this deadly Cleveland lineup. As Maddox goes into his windup, Albert Bell steps up. Singled and stole a base his last time up. This will be on Maddox's card. At 51 is an out. An RP is a pop-up to first base. Down the foul line along first. McGriff ranges over toward the dugout and makes the play as he catches it easily for out number 1. And Maddox still pitching a gem here. This time it will be on Murray's card. At 52 on Murray, though, he gets switched up with Maddox looking for curveball. He gets him with a fastball on the corner for strikes him out. And that's the 8th strikeout, 9th strikeout for Greg Maddox as Jim Thome steps to the plate. Will be on Maddox's card. That 13 will be a hit by Thome as he sends one into left field, blazing by Belliard at short. He cannot get to it. Klesko fills it, fires it back in, but there's another hit. For the Indians. So Thome on first, no speed, so he's going nowhere as Ramirez steps in. Manny singled his last time up, so here's the pitch to Ramirez. Will be on Ramirez's card. At 57, he walks him. Ramirez with a good eye. The normally good controlling Maddox just a bit outside trying to paint that corner. Now 2 runners on as Cleveland is now threatening here in the top of the 7th. And Sandy Alomar Jr., can he drive some runs in? Here's the pitch. Will be on Maddox's card. That 86 is too high. It's going to be an out. And that's just a simple fly ball into right field as Maddox pitches out of that jam. 2 runners stranded as he lifts a fly ball into right field. Justice squeezes it, and We go to the bottom of the seventh, still scoreless here in Atlanta in this game one of the World Series. And Chipper Jones stepping to the plate. Jones, 0 for 2 on the day, grounded out to short his last time up and flew out to left his first time up. Here's the pitch from Hershisher. Will be on Chipper Jones' card. At 48, he walks him. As good eye by Chipper Jones. He gets the free walk, gets the free pass, strolls down to first base, and we have a runner on here in the bottom of the seventh with no outs for the Atlanta Braves. McGriff looking to move Jones across. Here's the roll. Will be on McGriff's card. That 13 is a 1B7. That's hit into left. Let's see what we can do. Going first to third. Hit into left. The arm of T3. And he was OBRB. Nah, we're not going to do that. We're just going to hold him at second, go station to station with no outs. Don't want to take any chances getting gunned down at third for no reason. So Hershisher getting into a little bit of trouble now as he's got runners on first and second with no outs, and David Justice stepping to the plate. Will be on Hershisher's card. 53. That will be an out with an LP. That's the FD8. That's deep center field. Let's see. Let me look at my runners on first and second. FD8. Deep fly out to center field, batter out. Runner has option to advance. OBRA on second to third automatically. He's an OBRB, so he can't do it automatically. Does he want to chance it? No. We're just going to do the F8 and leave Jones, since that's the first out. Don't want to chance it. Now bring up Brian Klesko. Grounded out to short his last time up. Will be on Klesko's card. At 88 will be an out. The LP's an F9. Check it here. None. Again, will not advance as it's not hit deep enough. So will Hershisher pitch out of this jam? They're now 2 down. And Charlie O'Brien coming to the plate. Can Charlie O'Brien be the unexpected hero in this? Here's the pitch to O'Brien. It will be on his card. 67, though, will be an out. Ground ball too short. Will there be an error? Nope, there will not. And Hershisher pitches himself out of a no-out jam. They leave runners stranded on first and second. Now we go to the 8th. And here's the pitch. to Hershisher. No, I think they'll pinch hit for Hershisher. Let's see if that's what the managers recommend. Yeah, let's bring in Paul Sorrento. Not going to. Maddox is pitching too well. He's not coming out. Wait for the game to catch up. Bring in Paul Sorrento. Pinch hit. Maddox facing Sorrento will be a 2-9. And it will be on Sorrento's card at 55. And he walks him. Good eye by Sorrento. As now we have a runner on. No outs. Over 3 on the day is Lofton as he steps to the plate. Will be on Maddox's card. 77 will be an out. Ground ball too short. Too third, excuse me. Jones is a high error rating. At 1 to 10, he will boot it. Let's go to our error chart. First error of the game as it's hit sharply down to Jones at third. And of course, I got to find my error chart. 1 second. And I will find that. All right. Found my error chart. So that was a G6. Let's see, it's error 2. G6, shortstop, air mails throw to lead base. Runners advance 2 bases, batter to first. So that's going to send Sorrento to third on the E6. E6 R1, 2 bases. Maddox, that's the last thing he wanted to see, is an error by Chipper Jones as the air mails it into right field. And now runners on the corners with no outs as Cleveland threatens an almost Vizquel stepping to the plate. Will be on Maddox's card. That 23 strikes him out for strikeout number 10. Much needed strikeout from Maddox in this situation. We're in the top of the 8th. Threatening. That brings up Carlos Baerga. Again on Maddox's card. 31, and that's another strikeout as he gets him with the painting the plate with his 11th strikeout. As Maddox just a master from the mound today. That brings up Albert Bell, but if one slip up and this game could be over, and we go to the Z chart. Oh, that's interesting. Let's go to the Z chart. Z chart results. Let's roll for a random number. It's a 37. Catcher drops, third strike, batter safe at first on the error. Runners hold. I don't know how to record this. So that would be the third out. If it, let's see if this makes sense. Let's get a K R O 1 safe. Illegal outcome. I don't know how to record this. I'm just going to do pass ball. R3 hold. No, that didn't work. Well, I'm not sure how to record this one, so I'm just going to record it as a walk. It's the easiest way I know to go about it. That'll load the bases. Effectively putting on base who I need to have on base, but not according to the way it actually played out. If someone can tell me how I'm supposed to enter that, I would appreciate that. And up to the plate, Murray with the bases juiced. 2 outs, bases loaded, will be on. It's a 25, and he strikes him out. Man, Maddox is Dylan. That's his 12th strikeout as he pitches out of this jams. Bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Tied. And I need a pitcher to close it out for the Indians. Look for the closer for the Indians that year. Probably was Tavares. No, Jose Mesa. Mesa's going to come in. For Sorrento. That will do this. So Jose Mesa comes in here in the bottom of the 8th. Still scoreless on this gem of a game. Mesa on his card. 86, that will be an out. Ground ball to second. We'll check on Biargas. And he does not make an error on the G4. Ground ball to second. Fires over to Murray for out number 1. That'll bring up Maddox. A pinch hit for Maddox. See who they recommend. Javi Lopez. Okay. Bring in Lopez for Maddox. They need a run now more than anything else. Javi Lopez. Coming in. Lopez batted .315. Does not have speed, but swings a pretty good bat. 2-7 for Mesa. And it will be on Mesa's card. That 13, though, will be a base hit by Lopez as he drops one into left field in front of Albert Bell. So 1 out single puts Lopez on first. Marquise Grissom comes to the plate. See if there's any suggestions from the manager. Okay. Lopez, they don't need to hold Javi as a D. Okay, it's going to be on Grissom's card at 38. It is an out. Ground ball to second by Biarga. Will he commit an error? He does not on that G4. That could be double play territory to close out this inning. This is grounded by Arga. And he does. Biarga up with it for the double play as he flips it over and fires it over to first. And now I need somebody on the mound for the Braves. Maddox pitched to Jim through 8 innings, struck out 12. Who do I bring in? Wohlers was going to come in, close this game out. In comes Wohlers. Sorry for the delay. And Tomei striding to the plate. Top of the 9th, scoreless. 2-8 is Wohlers. Be on his card. 72 will be an out. Grounded back to Wohlers. Will not be an error as he's got a 0 error rating. Wohlers fields it, fires it over to McGriff at first. Route number 1. That's going to bring up Manny Ramirez. Walked his last time up. Will be on Ramirez's card. 71 will be an out, though. It's grounded to second. Will he make an error? He will not. 2 down here in the top of the 9th. We're still scoreless here in Atlanta. What a pitcher's duel this one has been. That's going to bring up the catcher, Alomar. 1 for 3 on the day is Alomar. It's going to be on Wohlers' card. 82 will be an out. And it's grounded to third. Will Chipper Jones boot another one? Not this time, as he makes the play on the G5 putout. 3 up and 3 down here in the ninth, and we go to the bottom of the ninth, scoreless here in Atlanta, as this has been a pitcher's delight, as both starting pitchers pitching gems. And we go to the bottom of the ninth. Jose Mesa still on the mound. See if I got any suggestions from the managers. All set. Mesa into the stretch and the windup. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be on Lemke's card. That's 65. It's going to be an out, though. At SN. Fly ball into right. Will Ramirez make the play? And he will. Settles underneath it easily for out number 1. That's going to bring up Chipper Jones. Can he end this with one swing of the bat? Not on a roll of 4. 67 will be an out. And he lines it to second. Stabbing out of the air is Baerga for out number 2. Line shot could not get into center field as Baerga stabs it out of the air for out number 2. That brings up the crime dog, McGriff, as Mesa winds and deals. Again, that 48 is an out. And it's just grounded to third. And we got free baseball here as we go into extra innings, still scoreless here in Atlanta. And we're going to pinch hit for Mesa. I'm not sure who we'll bring in, but let's see if that's what they recommend. Herbert Berry. All right. One second. Here we go. Perry stepping in to pinch hit. 2-9 for Wohlers. And it will be on Perry's card. 35. And he comes up and he pinch hit double, gets to the wall in right field, gets behind Justice. Justice tracks it down, fires it in, but not before Perry is standing up on second base. Now that brings up Kenny Lofton. Perry looking to be drove in. It's going to be on Wohlers' card. 84 will be an out. That LN is a ground ball to third. Checking for an error once again. No error. So a G5 probably is going to keep Perry at second. And it does. So one out, runner in scoring position at second. Brings Vizquel to the plate. 0 for 4 on the day. It will be on his card. At 14 could be trouble. And it is. It's a 1B7. I think we're just going to go station to station. Or should I chance it? Runner on second. See, runner on second. Fly ball into left field. Option to advance. OBRC. Nah, he ain't going to do it. Not a good enough speed. Runners on the corners. And this is going to be a base on balls. He walks him to fill up the plate that's bleeding, dripping with Indians here in the top of the 10th. That's going to bring up Albert Bell. Can he be the hero of this game? 21, and he strikes him out. Wohlers blows one by Bell for out number 2 with the bases loaded. Wohlers looking to bear down. As Eddie Murray comes to the plate. 6 on Wohlers. 35. And he bared down again and struck him out, got himself out of trouble. Bases loaded jam, and Wohlers comes up with 2 back-to-back Ks. And we go to the bottom of the 10th. Still tied scoreless here in Atlanta. David Justice stepping to the plate. And I need a new pitcher. Who'd he bring in? Let's bring in Ken Hill. Be a 2-6 against Justice. Justice card at 26. And I knew I goofed up. I brought in the wrong picture. He leaves one up and over the plate for Justice. And David Justice just walked off this game with a home run here in the bottom of the 10th. I should have brought in a lefty, and I brought in a righty. Wasn't paying attention. So that is my fault. And that's the final score here in Atlanta after 10, 1-0 Atlanta lead, win. And what a beautiful game to be the first one played on this for me. Man alive. Let's take a look at the box score. Maddox will get the win. He pitched a 4-hitter. Wohlers got the save. Well, he actually got the win. He was actually the winning pitcher. Maddox struck out 12 in that win. So quite the performance by Greg Maddox, and what a fun game for me to begin my journey back streaming games. I hope you will enjoy it. Game 2 coming up in the not distant future, next couple of days. So tune in. Atlanta up 1-0 with a 10th inning walk-off by Chipper Jones. No, David Justice, excuse me. David Justice walked it off. Have a good day.